guys, so before we start, I just want to let you know there were so many comments that they kind of got flooded out and there was no way I could answer all of them in this video. So I didn't answer your comment. It's nothing against you. It was just the way that YouTube puts them in order. But I will definitely answer them in another vlog coming up recently, just like at the end or something. So definitely keep an eye out for those. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So today I'm doing a Q&A because about a month ago, I started all my medal final vlogs, so Dover and then Washington finals and then Maclay, and since then I have gained a lot of new subscribers, and so I wanted to give you guys the option to ask me any questions. I literally said any questions. So in my last video, I made like a comment in the comment section and I said reply to this with questions and you will be in my next video. So we're literally, normally I like put, each comment out. That takes so long, so I'm literally going to screen record my phone and we're just going to scroll through. We're just going to answer all of them. The only thing I will say, because it popped up on my phone and then it disappeared, if you comment things about like touchy subjects like politics, YouTube will like report it. You can see my phone, we'll put it on the screen. I'll scoot over so you can see. There's my comment, reply to this with questions. So we're seriously just gonna go straight through. Do you have any riding inspirations? And I know you do workouts sometimes. Anything in particular you do to help strengthen your core for riding or legs? Do you have any riding goals after Maclay? And last but not least, do you have any siblings? So, do I have any riding inspirations? There's so many incredible riders and I've been able to watch so many of them, which is crazy. You watch all the Olympics like BZ Madden, who are incredible, but honestly my inspiration is my trainer. If you don't know who my trainer is, it's Michael Britleon. He's just, it's so incredible to watch. Like his handies especially are something else. Like they're just such beautiful trips. So he's definitely my inspiration. Workouts, so I do like cross training, which is just like weights and stuff. I know a lot of people think, oh my god, if you use weights you're gonna get like really ripped. No, that's not how it happens. So I do that like once a week, and I've also started doing like boxing, like where you like not like boxing people, but like you like hit things, and I really enjoy that. And then do I have any riding goals after Maclay? So for this year, nothing. I'm pretty much done. I'm just gonna chill. Next year, I want to do all the equitation stuff again, obviously go to all those finals, but I want to like, I've been there, I've done it, I want to like do well. And also I would want to do all the hunter finals with Nick, which I qualified for, but they all got canceled this year, so that's that. And then do I have any siblings? I actually have 3 older siblings. I have 2 older brothers and an older sister, but they're all grown-ups. What's your favorite color and what's your favorite horse? So my favorite color is like the color of this is almost a little more green, but like mint green teal. That's my favorite color. And then my favorite horse, I'm gonna say my favorite horse other than my own horses, because I could never choose a favorite of mine. I love them all. My favorite of someone else's horses is Bendy La Creme, and he's my trainer's jumper horse who I get to ride sometimes. I love that horse. He is so fun. Kate Marie, riding goals for 2020. So I kind of already said I want to do all the equitation finals, do all the hunter finals, more international derbies with Chino, love to do some derbies on Nick, just kind of like do a little bit of everything. How do you manage school and riding, like being away for a lot of the end of the weeks and weekends? So I'm lucky enough, I go to a hybrid school. If you don't know what that is, it's basically where it's half online and half in person. Don't really do the online part. Sorry, this is really bright, it's very bright outside. But basically, I go to school Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 till 12:30. So I go for the mornings, and then the afternoons, obviously, I train. So all the people there are like actors or YouTubers or baseball players or golfers or gymnasts or a lot of equestrians, hockey players. Like we're all kind of in the same boat, but it's designed like that. So then on Thursday after school at 12:30, we go to the horse shows. I show Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I don't go to school Monday, so on Monday I do all my schoolwork. Have you ever had any body image issues or insecurities with riding? Tips on being confident in yourself and body as an equestrian. So I don't think I was ever insecure about that, luckily, but I do think it took a lot for me to learn about how you're supposed to like present yourself, because I would like lean forward and I was not going to stick my elbows out, which is just not it. But I think there's a lot of drama around the whole, like, what an equitation rider is. You know, they're all like super tall and very lean and stuff, but I don't think that defines who you are as a rider. There's so many really good eq riders who don't look like that, because we're human. Not everybody looks the same, and not everybody looks like that. So I think you just have to remember that, like, at the end of the day, it comes down to your riding, not what your body looks like, if that makes any sense at all. Favorite saddle brand, favorite tall boot brand, favorite stirrups. I don't know, I'm just asking random questions. No, you're good. My favorite saddle brand is Butte. I think that's how you say it. Absolutely love them. Favorite tall boot brand would have to be Parlantes or Sergio Gracios, I think is how you say it, because I had those before and I really like those too. And then favorite stirrups, honestly, I get questions about like stirrups and spurs a lot, and the truth is I don't really know what brand they are. I just pick up random ones in Dover, like they're nothing special. How long have you been riding? So I started riding when I was about 6.5, I think. 6. I've been riding about 9.5 years, 10, like somewhere around that, 9 to 10 years. It's been riding a long time. Do you plan to ride in college? I know it's a few years away. And then do you want to do something after college related to horses? So I most definitely want to ride in college. I think it would be so cool to ride on like a college team, just to be part of those teams. You know, you ride in all the stadiums. I think that's so cool. And after college, I definitely want to do something related to horses. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know whether it would be like actually having my own barn, or if it would be like an influencer kind of situation, which I'd prefer to do something like this. Do you have grooms that tack up your horses for you at the barn? If so, how does that work? Do they tack up for you every lesson or every time you ride? How do they know when you're riding? So, oh no, my battery's flashing. So I do have grooms that tack up my horses at the barn. I never used to. Like I would say, for 9 years in my old barn, I always tacked up my horses. I'm quite capable of tacking up my horses, but that's like part of the program that we pay for in like the monthly package. So basically how it works is I lesson 4 times a week. So we don't really hack, but Tuesday is like a hacking lesson, if that makes sense. So we normally just do all flat work. But basically he tells us what time we're lessoning, they write it on the board, and then the grooms all know to get specific horses ready at certain times. So that's how it works. And if for whatever reason I am hacking, I just text my trainer or the assistant trainer and say, hey, I'm coming at this time. They'll write it on the board and the grooms know. What has been your biggest failure and how has it helped you? So I don't really know failure. Like obviously things go wrong. When I was little, I was not the pony rider, let me tell you. I got thrown off every trip, had a refusal, got excused from the ring. That was my pony career. It was not something special. But I feel like the biggest low of my riding career that has helped me was back in May of 2019. My first junior horse named Calgary passed away from a very unfortunate thing. It was like, that was the worst week of my life, let's just be honest. And even though that wasn't like a failure, I feel like that was the lowest point of my riding career, because it was like the one horse that, you know, I had learned on, I had moved up to the juniors on, I trusted him more than anything. And so for him to be gone, it was kind of like my like safety net had been taken away, you know what I mean? I was riding 3 horses at that point, and you know, Calgary was gone, so I only had Chino, so it was all my time dedicated to him, which, you know, grew our bond to where we are today. And now Chino's my safety net, which is a crazy thought. What type of maintenance do all of your horses require? So they get like their hocks injected and like all those random things, if that's what you're asking. Fetlocks, that stuff. What are the costs of boarding training lessons in your area? If you're comfortable talking about that, I think it's interesting how much it varies per state, but I think it really just varies on what kind of barn you're at, whether you're at like a show barn or whether you're just at like a little fun horse place. It obviously varies the price a lot. That's all I'm gonna say on that, because I don't really know. Do you see yourself being competitive as an adult? Some people just have junior goals, and that's cool. 100%. That's the one thing I am very lucky on. My parents love my horses just as much as I do, and they've become part of the family. So there's no way I'm gonna leave for college and we're just gonna sell them and be like, well, we're done with horses. I want to continue into being an amateur. So 100% I will still be doing this. And what will likely happen to your horses when it's time to go to college? So I'd like to go to college in the state so I can still ride them and train them. I know a ton of people at my barn who do the same. They go to college and then they just like hop back and forth. I mean, it's a lot of like driving from college to the barn, but it will be worth it. What is your favorite thing about every horse? Also, I love your riding. Well, thank you very much. My favorite thing about every horse, Chino, he's just a good soul. Like, a lot of people don't realize he's only just turned 8 and he does everything. Jumpers, egg, hunters, international derbies, regular derbies. He's been in like the cross country field, you know, like cantering around. Like, he's not scared of anything. He's just an old soul, but he's young. So I love Chino. I'm never like worried he's gonna take off or not go over a jump or anything like that. He's a good boy. Favorite thing about Nick is that he like loves his job. Like, every jump, you know, he's gonna try his absolute hardest, which is such a reassuring thing. My favorite thing about Angelo, I mean, he's an incredible horse too, but it has to be his like nature of just, he's so loving. He just is a people person. He wants to be loved. He wants to snuggle. Like, I love that. And my favorite thing about Patton is his character. He is hilarious. Like, he is known for escaping. He gets out in the middle of the night and like out of his stall. I'm not joking. This happened like 6 months ago or something. He got out of the stall at the barn, like he opened it with his mouth. It's all gated, like the whole barn, so he couldn't get out. But he was out in the pasture eating grass and then was too tired to do his lessons in the morning. Like, he's such a naughty little pony, honestly. But yeah. Why did you retire Angelo when he was only 15? So Angelo was actually the first junior horse I bought, but right after we bought him, he got hurt. So I believe he was already hurt when we bought him, and it just, something happened in the vetting. I'm not gonna go into that. He was hurt badly. He tore his tendon and lesions healed on him. And I wanna make this clear, this was at a different barn. This was not at the barn I'm at now. So this has nothing to do with them. So he had to have surgery, and we brought him back through rehab. Thought he was better. Something happened to his lesion where those were rubbing. So we decided after that, you know, we had some hacks on him and he loved it, but he started to get sore again. And I was like, we don't need to push him. You know, he had a whole junior career with his other girl, and I even got to show him for a year, which was so fun. But we don't need to push him any more than he needs to. You know, he's worked really hard in his life. So that's why he's retired. Also, how do you convince your parents to let you own horses? What is your favorite saddle brand and how old are you? So I already said my favorite saddle brand, so I'm not gonna say it again. Oh my god, I'm talking so fast. How did I convince my parents? So, okay, so my camera died, so now we're on the big camera, but sometimes I can't tell whether this is in focus or not, so I really hope it is. How did I convince my parents? So my sister, she did cross country, so it wasn't too hard to convince. I think, obviously, parents are always worried that it's just a phase and they're gonna buy a pony or a horse and then they're gonna be like, oh, just kidding. But we were kind of already in like the horse world, so I didn't really have to do too much convincing. How old am I? I'm 15, which a lot of people don't realize. They think I'm older, which is completely normal. I know I don't look my age. I'm also super tall, so if you see me in person, I don't look 15. Although I don't look tall compared to Kate Marie. Hi Eleese, I love your vlogs. What went into the decision to retire Angelo? Was it hard to make? Like I said, he'd already been in rehab twice. He'd had surgery, and we did everything we could, you know, to try and get him 100% better, but he already had such a hard career with his previous owner that it was like, why would we push him? Like, that's mean. You know what I mean? Like, as much as it's a shame because he's a lovely horse and would have been so fun to like get to take to all the hunter finals and everything, he's worked so hard. So it was like a place coming from our hearts. It was a hard decision to make because it's like sad, because it's like you've tried so hard for so many years to like bring him back, and it was like at the end of an era, you know what I mean? Like, it was officially done. but it was the right decision. Do your horses get turnout, and if so, how long? So they do get turnout. Honestly, it depends. Sometimes they go out all day. Sometimes if it rains, they go out for a couple hours, but it really just depends. We try and put them out as much as we possibly can, especially when we're at shows. Like if we can, we'll rent like the pastures that they have there so they can get turnout, because honestly, they're so much better behaved. How do you balance school and riding? So I already talked about this, so we're just gonna go to the next, but I don't want anyone to think I was ignoring them. Do you ride your egg horse in the hunter classes? And if you do, how do you place so well? Because a hunter horse looks different than an egg horse, lol. So Chino is my egg horse, and I have showed him in the hunters multiple times, and I've actually done really well on him. We've been champion a lot in the 3-6 juniors, and I took him junior hunter finals a couple years ago before I switched barns, and he even placed, and that was before he had any training. So he definitely can do well, but like I said, he's really good at like switching. But when it comes down to it at like a final, or if he came against a horse like Nick, who's like a complete hunter horse, obviously that's when he wouldn't win, which is annoying because it's like, even though you could have a better round, he doesn't jump as well. Do your horses live at your house? So they do not. I have Chino and Nick, who are my show horses. They're at Windsor Stables, which is where I ride. And then I have Angelo and Patton, who are my retired horse, and my pony, who I don't ride either of them, but the pony does lessons. And then like I said, Angelo's retired, and they're at like a friend's barn. But Angelo will hopefully come back to my house in like the spring next year once we have a barn built. Okay, last question. Do you plan on going pro? So that's definitely a good question. I don't really know, because I think it would be super fun to go pro, but then I also don't want to take like where it's something that you love doing and it's a hobby and then turn it into such a job that it's not fun anymore. So I'm not really sure where I stand on that, but it's definitely not something I've like completely said no to. I would be open to doing that. Okay guys, so I completely forgot that before I made that comment, there were already a ton of questions commented on that. I want to make sure I answer everyone. So we're going to sit here and answer these right now. I'm going to try and like get through them as fast as I can, because there's a ton of questions and this video is already very long. A lot of people also commented several questions, so I'm just going to like rapid fire this. How many hands are Chino and Nick? They're both 16.2 hands, although in person Chino is significantly bigger than Nick. What are your plans for your horses? Will you eventually sell them, or will you keep them forever? I will keep them forever. What do you want to do when you get older? Do you always want to have a job that has horses in it? I will always have horses. I will always ride horses. It might not be part of my job, although I hope it is. And as far as I'm concerned, when I'm older, I would really love, I mean, I'd love to be an influencer, obviously, but that's not something I can rely on. I would love to go into like the business stuff. I know that's like a very broad industry, but like to have my own business or to have my own like riding apparel, I think that'd be really cool. Goals as a rider, what do you want to accomplish in the next show season? So I kind of talked about this, about what I want to do in the next show season, but my goals are my goals as a rider definitely be place in medal finals, place at like Devon, or place high at Devon, and do derby finals. I'd love one day to do a Grand Prix. I want to keep working my way up the international derbies. I've done 2 and we placed in both of them, but like slowly getting to the top. Why do you not share what place you got in your shows? So I actually do share what places I get in my shows, but the past like 3 show vlogs have been medal finals where there's like 200 people, and so I didn't place in them. That's why I didn't share what place I got, because I didn't place. But if you watch my old videos, I always put at the end of like the trip what place I got. Who is your trainer? They seem pretty awesome by all of the cool classes they compete and show in. So my trainer is Michael Britleon at Windsor Stables, and he's so cool. I guess that's it. I can't wait for the Q&A video. I'm guessing you might know I'm new, but you're my favorite YouTuber. That is so sweet. Thank you for all your lovely questions. Okay, next. What is your favorite discipline you've done? I honestly don't know. If you're talking about like English or Western, obviously English, but I have a love for the jumper horses. I really do. I love going fast. Do you want to do the higher level show jumping in the future, or stay in the hunters and equitation? I definitely want to like do big classes like international derbies, Grand Prix, I think honestly, like, I'm just gonna straight up say it, it'd be incredible to ride in the Olympics, but you have to be so good to do that. But yes. Do you want to go pro or another job when you grow up? I don't really know what I want to do. I kind of want to stick with this. Like, I still want to work with horses, but I don't know that I want the actual horse part to be my job. Questions: what are your riding goals? Where do you see yourself in a few years? And your favorite subject in school? So riding goals, once again, I'm just saying, I've already said it because you guys probably don't want to listen to me say the same thing over and over. So I already answered that one. Where do you see yourself in a few years? So in a few years, if you're talking about like 2 or 3 years, I will be graduating high school, going to college, hopefully riding on a college team, and still riding my horses on the side. Hopefully this YouTube channel will have taken off a bit. Once again, sorry about my squeaky chair. And I think it would be super cool to have like my own company kind of thing. What's my favorite subject in school? Well, my favorite subject is probably, I feel like it'd probably be history, because I'm not very good at math. I don't really enjoy, I like science, but not this year. We're doing physics. Don't like science. Not good at Spanish. Language arts is hard, so probably history. But I just want to throw that in there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.